They said the groundhog said that it's going to be more winter. This would be a real brief live. Now, they said the groundhog said, oh, it's going to be, what, some more winter, right? Okay. I'm looking at the trees. I'm right under a tree. And it's budding. Literally budding. You know, so I look at nature, and nature tells me the season. You know, nature tells us everything. Now, some trees, because I'm always observing nature, some trees bud earlier and quicker than other trees. Not all trees bud at the same time. Everything has its season. But I've been seeing a couple of trees, and they are showing aspects of budding. Some of them are budding. So when you look at human beings, we all don't bud at the same time. Everybody has different levels of growth, of development. Everybody. Even your children that come from you, they bud a little bit differently from you. And you be the parent. Now, some of the information that you give them, they may grasp and hold on to, depending. So everything buds differently. And now, I was thinking about how music, because all of this is going to tie into a topic that it's not even a name for the topic, but sometimes I just go over the day, the week, the month, and then look at what's going on around me and see, what is life saying? Life is always speaking. Life always speaks, and it says, hey, check this out. Hey, look at this. Hey, stop doing that. Hey, get a better grip. Get a better understanding. Hey, you're not doing this right. This is the way you need to do it. Life is always speaking. It's always talking. It talks. It talks, literally. It has a language. It has a language. And this is why many of the early ancestors and some of the people now in the present time of, well, this is not even 2023. That's another life that we can talk about. But so-called 2023 that we're living in, people have this information that the ancestors of the ancients had. And the reason why is because they are connecting. They're connected to certain frequencies and energies and understandings and wisdom and knowledge of how things work. Yeah, how things work. Once you understand how something works, then you can pretty much know how to navigate with it, how to use it correctly. So I saw something, but I didn't really watch it, and the person was saying how about the strands, I think our DNA strands, and they say, oh, this has happened to us because of various different things. And then the guy said, but I didn't fully watch the whole documentary. I'll probably watch it a little bit later. But the most important thing I heard him say was, there are people who, and I'm kind of repeating myself, they have the connections to all the different things pertaining to understanding the different things that for some people, they don't understand it. For some people, they don't get it. For some people, they won't get it only unless they turn on, I'm going to call it that starlight. If they turn on that starlight, that's inside of them, they'll be able to fully see clear. Like we see, but we really sometimes don't see. You ever lost something, right? Oh man, what did I do with it? And it'd be right there all along in front of your face. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh man, where my phone at? And I'd be like, your phone is next to the radio. You're taping WBAI. Or you're taping something that you heard and you said, whoa, I got to tape this and load it or what have you. You know, so life is always talking, always communicating. And when we connect to nature, connect to ourselves, because we are nature. We are nature. We are the universe. We are the cosmos. We're all of that. And then, you know, we are, you know, the emotions, you know, all the different emotions, we are them. It's just that over time we learn how to better control them and understand them and work through them and work with them. Instead of, well, this is what I've been doing. I've been looking at those things that get me upset. Then I've been going over, okay, this got you upset. Now feel how you feel pertaining to that which got you upset. Do you like how that feel? Is that something you really want to continue having, you know, occur or go on inside of you? And that helps me like navigate, say, you know what, next time if something like this happens, instead of going that route, I'm going to take a different route, like recreate the narrative, rewrite the narrative. You know, because when you're dealing with nature, which is yourself and outside of you, nature brings you to a place of harmony, of gathering. That gathering is you're gathering your senses, you're gathering your answers, you're gathering those things that you need to gather to keep you together in this world. And if you look around, like I people watch a lot. You got all kinds of different people, right? Wherever you live or just all over the world. And people are doing many, many, many different things, many different actions and behaviors. And like most of us know, like when you look at why the world is the way it is, it's because of people. It's because of me, you, them, us. Because of people, the actions of people. Yeah. Because basically nature does what nature does because nature is a gathering force. It has to rain. The wind has to blow. Nature has to do what nature has to do in order to do what? To feed us, right? Physical food, spiritual food, mental food. That's why, like, you ever notice, like, if you go somewhere where, like, right now I'm in a park where I'm chilling, and I'm around the trees and stuff, and my mind is in a different frequency. It's in a different syncing. I'm tuning into nature, even though I'm on the cell phone and stuff like that. But my first love is nature. Looking at the sky, studying different species and this and that, so on and so forth. Life. Not just like regular life, everyday humdrum life, you know, like I like today I took my daughter to martial arts, right? And I said to myself, okay, I guess you'll be doing this for the next 10 years. Like literally. And not in the way of, oh, this is boring, I don't want to do this. No, this is something that I dedicated because I said I'm going to make sure that my daughter knows how to protect herself. So when Dad is no longer in the earth with her, she'll have some form of stability amongst all the other stabilities. And so I said, okay, you're going to be doing this for the next 10 years. So what I'm saying is that some things, you know, like when you accept some things, in accepting those things, we want to make sure, I know with myself, I want to make sure that, is this really worthy and worth me accepting? Something like that is definitely worth me accepting and saying, okay, I'm going to be committed to that. So looking at accepting, gathering, and my commitments to myself, to those near and dear, and looking at the energy of everything that I'm doing. If I get upset, if I don't fulfill certain obligation. I mean, really looking at the whole thing and understanding that, like I may mention earlier, nature has an order. It has an order. And even our nature has an order, because when it's time for you to go to the bathroom, you can hold it for a little while, but eventually that nature gonna say, nah, hey, you better hurry up and get me to the toilet, else I'm gonna, whatever. So everything has an order. So even though I'm living and I feel like, okay, I got my life in order and stuff like that, I want to always look at what more I can do, not to be perfect, but what more can I do to do more work, gathering. Look at my budding. Yeah, I'm budding. Every situation, circumstances, time has a degree of budding. It's a learning experience. It's a journey. It's a standing ground. You're still growing up. Changes, reevaluations, making new determinations. But the main thing is I'm realizing more and more and more, because when you really be doing a lot of soul work, you really don't want to be dealing with trauma and anger and confusion and disillusion and all that stuff that's out there and inside of us all. It's in us and it's outside of us. Literally. So, this ain't going to be a long live. I don't really plan my lives, I used to give lectures some years back, and I would write down the lecture. Then when I get up at the podium, I would say some of the stuff in the lecture, but then the spirit or my mind or my frequency would just take me somewhere, and I'd be like, wow, what I wrote down, I didn't really even say much of what I wrote down. Something else had to come out. Plus, it's a form of therapy. As I, do lives once in a blue moon, I'm also listening to what I say, because one of the, you don't want to be inside your body and not know your body. You don't want to be inside yourself and not know yourself. You don't want to be inside your neighborhood and you don't know what's going on in your neighborhood. Living a sheltered life. You want to know what's going on in my neighbor. I ain't talking about being nosy. I'm saying what's happening. So this way, when I come outside or whatever it may be I'm doing, whether I go downtown or wherever I go, I know where I'm going and I have an idea of what's going on in those particular areas. And you more so want to be more aware more now than ever, because things can spin out, out of nowhere. And I'm not saying this about having fear. It's just about being aware of what's going on. First checking in within, and then observing what's going on. And then also seeing what's going on in other parts of the world. If you are unable to travel like that, YouTube, a lot of documentaries. I watch so much stuff. I be in like every country. I might be in 3 countries in one night just by watching YouTube, seeing what's going on. How do people think, how they feel. And a lot of it deals with the same things that I'm dealing with over here in America. Food, clothing, shelter, love, relationships, spiritual stuff, just or that whole life, the whole pot of life's gumbo, but my whole case in point is that once you start delving into heavy peace within, you're better able to see, this is what I want more of. And then also looking at yourself, the lowness, those parts of you that hey man, I have to really work more on myself. Maybe I'm a little too amped up. Maybe I'm too giving. Maybe I'm too loving. Maybe I'm not standing up for myself. Maybe I let people walk over me. Maybe I'm always trying to be on every scene because it's in my heart to be there for people and to help people. Maybe I'm always trying to go out for family members and this and that and so on and so forth. But maybe I see that sometimes it don't work in the way that, like, I'm coming from a good place, but people got their own issues. And being that I'm doing certain things for myself, I'm better able to see that, yeah, you know what, they still got some work to do. They still got some issues. They still got some stuff that they're dealing with. And I'm not going to make that my stuff anymore. And I guess we all deal with certain, because life is a relationship also. It's a gathering, it's a budding, it's all of that, you know. And so now, and also another thing, forgiveness, forgiving ourselves. I ain't talking about go confess. If you confess to yourself, put it out in the universe. I ain't talking about, you know, you go, oh, I mean, you know, because, oh, wow, you did that. Oh, and now people looking at you differently and stuff like this. So some things, you know, that's between you and the Creator. You know, you forgive yourself. You know, you change your life. You change your behavior. You change your thoughts. You change your frequency. And, you know, you slowly heal. And you learn about impulse control. You learn about, you know, what spins you out. Or why you afraid, you know, why you know, shy. I mean, all of that. Listen, it's a barrel full of just different things, so on and so forth. Now, the remedy, we don't want to put ourselves down. Like I tell people when I do lives, it ain't about putting ourselves down. It's just about taking a look at ourselves and seeing where we are, seeing what more we can do, what more we need to do, and then sometimes what less that we need to do. Because sometimes we could be like overdoing it, you know, like over-parenting, overworking, over-chasing the dollar, you know, over-articulating, over-analyzing, all that, like this going over when you okay, relax. You know, so it's like basically having a balance. In Arabic, it's called mizan. The mizan, having a balance. You know, like right now, you know, the sun is going down, right? And so, you know, nature is speaking. Nature is speaking. Nature is saying, hey, I'm getting a little cooler. Hey, it's getting a little darker. You know, so everything, you know, more so in nature, you know, it speaks. You know, our bodies, as we know, speak to us. Our minds, our spirits, it constantly speaks to us. Now we want to pay more close attention. We want to listen more. We want to listen more and find the right balance that's going to help us stay ready, stay prepared, be more at peace, be more happier, learn how to spend our money better, you know, like impulsive spending, learn about how to have better relationships, first with yourself, then with others, understanding that there's nothing wrong with you being by yourself, because you really, technically, you're not alone anyway, because your heart, you got your lungs, you got your eyes, your ears, you know, those are family members. Our feet are family members. Your hands are your blood is your family member. Your cells in your body, those are family members. Because sometimes people be like, oh man, it's just me. I say, yeah, it may be just you, but think about your heart, man. Your heart is family. You know, so now we going deeper into nature. But that's another live. I think I did a live where I broke down the body and how the body is family. You come into the world with family. Even though you're born in the family, you come into the world with family. And when you in that womb, your family, your inner outer family is developing itself. But you will not understand that if you don't go deeper. Go deeper. A lot of times we just look at something and say, okay, that's a park bench. But what purpose do that park bench serve? People sit on it. People have conversations as they sit on it. It holds and maybe comforts tired people. And in some cases, you see people sleeping on the park bench. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing or knocking, but I'm just saying in general. So everything has its purpose. And, you know, when you go deeper and get a better, clearer understanding, like the ins and outs, the outs and ins, you know, nature speaks. And speaking about nature, those park benches are made out of wood, right? That's nature right there. But it's in a different form, but it's made from nature. The concrete, all this stuff, it comes from nature. It comes from certain rocks. It comes from certain dirt. So just dig it. Everything is nature. All of it comes from nature. All of it comes from the cell phone that I got in my hand. If it wasn't for the Cobaton, right? If I'm saying it right, the phone wouldn't even work. Wouldn't even work. So nature provides for us. It provides. It definitely provides for us. And I'm telling you, you know, everything points back to nature, and when you go deeper, it points back to you. And so the goal is understand this, and this came to me some time ago. Life is set up a certain way. Yeah, it is. Life shows everyone mercy. But when life has to do, it shows no one mercy. And I realized that some time ago. I was just like pondering, oh wow, life does show everyone mercy. But then when life has to do what life has to do, it shows no one mercy. I guess like the song is, you know, joy and pain, you know, and like life is a process. We process, things change, we get new information, and then that old information, some of it we can still use, but then a lot of it becomes outdated. So you get some new information. You know, the goal, keep learning, keep connecting, you know, get busy, you know, take small steps. I mean, but just find freedom in the freedom. And like I found freedom in the freedom by being free within and really looking at myself. This, like, I'm telling you, when you begin to truly look at yourself, you will cry. You may even laugh. I'm telling you, it's that deep. It's that deep because you can't run no more. You can't hide no more. You can't front no more. You can't wear the mask anymore. Because when you start doing, especially when you're working with the elements of nature, whether it's crystals, whether it's herbs, whether it's there's various different avenues, creative avenues. I'm talking about creative things, painting, poetry, it's like all the different things, that's out here, gardening, fish, like all these wonderful, beautiful things that's out here to do, that's creative, that's productive. And I'm going to end the live, but let me just say this too. Me, I never feel bored. I see people posting, oh, I'm bored. I said, wow, that's deep. I'm never bored. And the reason why I'm never bored is because I got so many creative things that I do that it keeps me out of the boredom room. It keeps me out of being bored. Like literally. I mean, lately I've been tired a lot because, I've been kind of like staying up a little bit, and then I've been like, just doing a whole bunch of different things, creative stuff. But, that's why I said sometimes we overdo certain things. So my spirit is telling me, dude, you got to start going to bed a little bit earlier, so on and so forth. So, but that's just one of, because I noticed without the proper rest, you tend to be a little bit more irritable and stuff like that. But just looking at everything for what it really is, getting the answers, keeping the answers, getting more answers to the answers, like like congratulating yourself. You know, don't look for people to congratulate you. Congratulate yourself, you know, like when you know you're doing the right thing, and, you know, like whatever it may be, you know, you're being responsible, you're taking better care of your health, you know, you've mended some relationships, you've gotten over some traumas and dramas or whatever, or you're still processing various different pains, but you're learning now how to better facilitate plan of action pertaining to those pains, where they're not making you act out, where you're not carrying these heavy loads anymore, and you're like finding true freedom. Congratulate yourself, you know, because I know, like myself and many of us, you know, we've come far, and, you know, we're still traveling, you know, and as long as you're breathing in and out, you're rich. You're rich, literally. That's wealth. And all the other stuff we get, the extra money, the extra cars, homes, whatever we get, those are just extra pieces of cake. That's all it is. You just got some extra pieces of cake. That's all. Literally. You know, because when you don't have the big stuff, what? The small stuff is like, wow, this, you know, this means the world to me. Because I tell myself, just from watching various documentaries, I see how people are really suffering all over the world, including here in America. I'd be like, man, I shouldn't be complaining about nothing. Literally. You know, like literally, I shouldn't really be complaining about much. And I'm not saying that makes me better than, no, it don't. But the thing is, you know, another thing, you know, being grateful, being appreciative, you know, and just really looking at ourselves, you know, for who we are, accepting ourselves for who we are. And like I said, you know, as long as we're breathing in and out, you know, that, you know, we're rich, and that, you know, we still got a chance. We still got a chance. And it's all about honesty. It's all about, if you know that you have made mistakes within your life, there's nothing wrong with saying, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. I went about this the wrong way. Or maybe I was too controlling. Or maybe I was too fearful. Maybe I was too lazy. Or maybe I didn't use the right words to express what I really wanted to say, and it came out crooked. Or maybe I didn't get your back like how I should have had your back, because maybe I was afraid, or maybe I just didn't know what to do. Even with all these degrees and this and that, I just didn't know what to do, because maybe panic overtook me. Or maybe my impulse control was just whatever it was. Or maybe I just was so overwhelmed and tired, I just didn't know what to do. And it's okay. So I'm going to end the live. And so I'm going to save the live. And I just want to say thanks for listening. Breathe in and out.
Excuse me, pocket closed.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Just breathe in and out, and just know that the park is closed. It's all cosmic.